This dedicated review is highly requested and I'm finally ready to talk about it. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Santa Marie here. Yes, you can tell by the thumbnail, the title, all of that. We are finally talking about bond number 9, the scent of peace for her. I have to emphasize the for her because there is a scent of peace for him. But of course, we focus on the ladies over here on this channel mainly. And we are talking about bond number 9, scent of peace for her. So this fragrance, y'all, is not a new fragrance at all by any means of the word. It is, in fact, it's old, especially by today's constant release standard that's happening with fragrances. This scent is nothing new, but however, this is actually the best-selling fragrance for the ladies at bond number 9, and that is quite fascinating to me. We'll get more into that as we go on to the review. As always, lipstick of the day today, everyone. I want to get a little holiday, a little festive, so I went in with a red, and this is the Fenty, the MVP. This is that velvet liquid lip they have. I've done a full dedicated review on this as well. Definitely check out that video. And I also reviewed the HBIC shade, so I also have a short of that up too. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. Let's get into it. Full face details will be in the description box below as always, so you don't have to wonder about that. Of course, with this being a dedicated fragrance review, guess what fragrance I'm wearing? The fragrance we are talking about. So fragrance of the day is, of course, bond number 9, the scent of peace for her, because we gotta talk about you. I have had this fragrance for several months at this point, so it's well worn, and I've worn it in different seasons, so I can really talk about this scent. As always, when it comes to a full dedicated review, I review fragrances by 4 categories. First category being mood, and that is simply, how does this fragrance make me feel? What time of year do I see myself wearing it? What type of event? That's the point of the mood of the scent. Second category is strength, and that's on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being this ain't nothing but water in a pretty bottle, to 10 being this is nuclear powerhouse juice. I'm gonna smell it on my clothes a week from today. Moving forward, next category is longevity, and that is how many hours long lasting is this fragrance. That is very important, especially when we talk about your higher end niche fragrances, especially like bond number 9 price tags. We'll talk about that too. But yes, that is longevity. And the final category is this a compliment getting fragrance? And that is a yes or a no answer, and we'll talk about that more. Do I think this is worthy of the bestseller category? We'll definitely talk about it there. So all right, let's get into the specs of bond number 9, so the scent of peace for her. As always, here is the box. This is the full presentation, and believe it or not, I got the 100 ml size of the fragrance. This fragrance does come in another size, and we'll talk about that. So first and foremost, this fragrance, you all, came out in 2006. Not 2016, no, you heard me, 2006. So this fragrance is almost pushing 20 years old, so that's what I mean by this is an OG. So this is a scent that's been out here for a minute. A lot of people have smelled it, people have owned it, repurchased it, as I'm told. So this is a scent, it got roots here in the fragrance community. So yes, released in 2006. So we have key notes, you all. It has notes of grapefruit, black currant. We also have lily of the valley, hedione, and we also have cedar wood and musk. So just reading this, I'm getting a fresh and fruity vibe from this scent. That's what it seems like it's gonna be. A very much an easy wear, very much an easy reach type of scent with a name like Scent of Peace. That makes sense. So okay, the notes line up to what I think it should give. Now let's get into pricing. For the 50 ml size retail, the price is $295. Then for the 100 ml size, again, that is what I have. And here is my bottle again, 100 ml size. The 100 ml size retails for $440 at the present time I'm filming this, which is December 2023. So yes, this is pretty pricey. Of course, I post sales and things about bond number 9 fragrances when I can. So always watch my community tab for those. So now let's get into this fragrance. Again, I am wearing it, but for the sake of this here review, I'm gonna refresh my nose with this scent. So let's spray some. So I also gotta give you the backstory of how I ended up with Scent of Peace, because this was a bond I was not checking for. So in fact, I had purchased a MFK scent. In particular, it was my Feminine L'Oreal fragrance, and my SA threw in some samples from Bond. And I remember these samples to a T because they moved me. Let me tell you. First sample was Greenwich Village, which you all know. Love at First Sniff. That is like my favorite #1 fragrance at this point in my life. The other sample that was in that bag was also Nomad, which, as you know, I love Nomad for cold weather. Can't say enough about Nomad. And then the third fragrance that was also in that box was the Scent of Peace for her. Now, I'll admit, this was the fragrance I took my time getting to because I was so enamored with the other 2 scents, and of course I purchased the other 2 before I got over to Scent of Peace. So this was one, y'all, I sprayed it the first time. I was like, Okay, it's just okay. It wasn't doing anything for me, right? Just for me, I was at home, but I decided to spray that sample on, ran errands, went to the office, did things, grocery store, everything, you name it, post service. When I tell you, that sample got so many compliments from people. So many people was like, what are you wearing? What's going on? People had on masks, everything, and they could still smell this scent. I was like, you can smell this? Cause I'm thinking, you know, it's like, again, lily of the valley, grapefruit, you know. Those aren't really the most beast mode scents. We're not talking about like a oud or anything. You see what I mean? But when I tell you, people could smell this scent, I was like, okay. I didn't think it was doing all that, but for the people it was. So that's what made me go, well, maybe I need to look more into this scent since it's giving the people life without trying. We like those types of scents. So long story short, fast forward a year later, and here it is. You all saw it in a haul back during the springtime. So now let's get into the mood and everything of this scent. So first category is mood. Absolutely, this scent is a summer fragrance. No other season about it. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, they wear it year round, but let me tell you, that musk, that freshness, the lily of the valley, grapefruit, all that, summer. This is a summer fragrance. And in particular, when I was wearing the sample, it was the summertime when it was getting all those compliments. And I was like, yes, because when I'm wearing it right now in the cold weather, when I've worn it in spring and whatnot and fall too, it's just okay. But this one comes alive in the summer heat. It needs the heat to amp it up. So absolutely, Centerpiece is a summer fragrance. It's just what it is. The only other reason I would wear this scent, now absolutely this fragrance would make a wonderful travel fragrance right now. Travel or hospital type of scent in my opinion, because it's a fresh scent. So it's kind of one of those, you just smell really nice. Maybe you use a really nice soap that happens to project well. It's one of those type of fragrances. So that's why I think this would be great as a travel scent or for my healthcare workers. Now let's talk about strength of this fragrance, which again is fascinating. To me, the strength of this fragrance is a 5, which is literally straight up down the middle average. Yes, I can smell it, but is it screaming at me? No, it isn't. It's doing just enough. It's a 5. Like, there's just no other way to talk about this. Now let's talk about longevity of this fragrance. To me, longevity on average, we get right at 4 hours. This is a scent that absolutely I'm gonna have to have a decant of, I'm gonna have to touch it up in order to get through the day because it's not the strongest scent. The notes aren't the loudest, it's just what it is. So it's 4 hours and I know I'm gonna have to touch it up. So it's one of those scents that normally I'm gonna wear when I have a light day, I'm running errands. So it's not one that I'm wearing when I'm trying to really shut it down. It's just not. So 4 hours. Now last category, is this a compliment getting fragrance? Interesting enough to me, when I smell this, I don't think this should be a compliment getting fragrance. I just don't. To me, this is a great for when I've taken a shower and I just want to smell good in loungewear. That's really what this smells like to me. But for some reason, this scent turns heads. It works well with my body chemistry. I'm talking men, women, different ages. This scent gets compliments. I cannot explain it. So this is one of those fragrances that it's a compliment getter, but is it a favorite of mine per se in my collection? No. It's not. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, just because I get a whole bunch of compliments on it, I love it. But this is a scent that if I know I'm going into a new environment where I kind of don't know new people, I might be mixing and mingling, networking, that type of thing. But you want a scent that's gonna be generally pleasant. It's gonna be a crowd pleaser. This goes in that category. I gotta admit that. This is an easy reach crowd pleaser. It's not gonna offend people, but you're gonna get compliments at the same time. Very, very fascinating how they pulled that off. So for that reason, I can see why this is a bestseller for a lot of people. 100%. This is not a scent you have to think about. It's an easy reach that actually gets compliments. So that explains the bestseller aspect of this scent. So now that makes more sense to me. So that is my dedicated review to Bond number 9's The Scent of Peace for Her. After smelling The Scent of Peace for Her, I gotta admit, I want to smell the one for the guys. I still haven't made my way to smelling that one yet, but the guys rave about it, particularly in the fragrance community, and it's also been out for a long time, and it still has a cult following to this day. So I'm intrigued, I'm impressed, but all in all, this is a scent that while I do enjoy it, this is not the perfect season to wear this scent in right now. Again, it is December, literally about to be Christmas. So this is one that I will be putting up and won't really be reaching for unless I'm getting on the plane or until it gets hot again. So it's truly, again, a summer scent, but I like it. It's okay. It's not one of my favorite bonds. It's not. It's just okay to me. So that is my review on bond number 9, the scent of peace for her. Let me know your thoughts on this fragrance. Do you love it? Have you smelled it? Do you feel like it's the best seller? Or in your opinion, what actually should be the best seller you would think at this point? In my opinion, I think the best seller is probably Greenwich Village, because I mean, I'm biased and I love Greenwich Village. I think that one is amazing. And I think a close second would probably be Tribeca at this point for its like new age bond. So fellow bond lovers, let me know in the comments, what do you think should be the best seller? Or do you agree that bond number 9, scent of peace for her, is the best seller for the ladies in particular? Let me know your thoughts. And of course, I'll be responding as always. So until next time else, I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye y'all.